Hey kindergarten, it's Mrs. Shivani again, back with another listening and learning story. So yesterday we read all about the blacksmith, and I remember he had some special tools that he had to use that were really important to his job. And do you remember the forge that he used? That the forge was a fire, well, like a fireplace that he would use to heat up the metal, and it was really, really important to his job. You might start a fire with a match, but do you know what else you could put in the fireplace to keep it burning? Maybe wood. You could also use coal. And right now you see a picture of coal. And coal burns for a really long time. So when this gets lit, it can stay warm for a super, super long time. So today we're going to read a fictional story about a tradesperson who provides coal. So remember, this story is fictional. That means it's not true. We've been reading a lot of stories about lots and lots of true facts. That's called nonfiction. But today we're going to take a break from that and read a story that is not true. It's just pretend, made up. And as you're listening, I would like you to listen out for the characters, the setting, the problem, and the solution. Your journal response today will be to list all 4 of those story elements. We work really hard in my classroom at least, and I know in Mrs. Merritt and Mr. Thayer's classrooms too. We work hard to be able to identify those story elements, we call them. So characters, that's the people that the story is about, the people or animals that the story is about. The setting, where or when a story takes place. The problem, what goes wrong in the story. And the solution, that's the 4th one. How they solve the problem. Characters, setting, problem, solution. Ready? The story is kind of long, so I'm going to get right to it. It's called The Little Gray Pony. Let me scroll down. There it is, to our first page. Here we go. There once was a man who owned a little gray pony. Every morning when the dewdrops were still hanging on the pink clover in the meadows and the birds were singing their morning song, the man would jump on his pony and ride away, clippity, clippity, clap. The pony's 4 small hooves played the jolliest tune on the smooth pike road. The pony's head was always high in the air, and the pony's 2 little ears were always pricked up, for he was a merry gray pony, and he loved to go clippity, clippity, clap. What does merry mean? I think that means happy, content. He does look very merry. I see him right there. He looks super happy. The man rode to town and to country, to church and to market, uphill, downhill, and one day he heard something fall with a clang on a stone in the road. Looking back, he saw a horseshoe lying there. And when he saw it, he cried out, "What shall I do? What shall I do if my little gray pony has lost a shoe?" Oh no. Starting to sound like this is a problem. Let's keep reading. Ooh. Then down he jumped in a great hurry and looked at one of the pony's 4 feet. That means their front feet. But nothing was wrong. He lifted the other 4 foot, but the shoe was still there. He examined one of the hind feet, back feet, and he began to think that he was mistaken. But when he looked at the last foot, he cried again, "What shall I do? What shall I do? My little gray pony has lost a shoe." Oh no. Let's see what happens. Then he made haste, that means he hurried, to go to the blacksmith. Hey, we read about them yesterday. And when he saw the smith, he called out to him, "Blacksmith, blacksmith, blacksmith, I've come to you. My little gray pony has lost a shoe." But the blacksmith answered and said, "How can I shoe your pony's feet without some coal, the iron to heat?" Shoeing somebody's foot, I think that just means to put on their horseshoe. They're kind of using fancy words here, but that just means to put on somebody's shoe. The man was downcast when he heard this. Ugh, I'm thinking that means he was sad or disappointed. But he left his little gray pony in the blacksmith's care, while he hurried here and there to buy the coal. Okay, so the blacksmith cannot make a new horseshoe without coal. So he has to go find some. Here we go. Let's read the next part. First of all, he went to the store, and when he got there, he said, storekeeper, storekeeper, I've come to you. My little gray pony has lost a shoe, and I want some coal, the iron to heat, that the blacksmith may shoe my pony's feet. But the storekeeper answered and said, now I have apples and candies to sell, and more nice things that I can tell. But I have no coal, the iron to heat, that the blacksmith may shoe your pony's feet. Hey, this story rhymes a lot, doesn't it? Then the man went away, sighing and saying, what shall I do? What shall I do? My little gray pony has lost a shoe. Oh man, where do you think he's going to go now? This guy didn't help him. Oh, I hope he finds help. Let's keep reading. By and by, he met a farmer coming to town with a wagon full of good things. Why might the farmer be coming into town? Maybe he's selling his things to the market. And he said, Farmer, farmer, I've come to you. My little gray pony has lost a shoe, and I want some coal, the iron to heat, that the blacksmith may shoe my pony's feet. Do you think the farmer is going to have any coal? I don't know. Let's read. Then the farmer answered the man and said, I've bushels of corn and hay and wheat, something for you and your pony to eat. But I have no coal, the iron to heat, that the blacksmith may shoe your pony's feet. So the farmer drove away and left the man standing in the road, sighing and saying, what shall I do? What shall I do? My little gray pony has lost a shoe. So the farmer did not have what he needed, huh? Let's keep reading. In the farmer's wagon, full of good things, he saw corn, which made him think of the mill. So he hastened, remember that means to run fast, there, and called to the dusty miller, 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 I've come to you. My little gray pony has lost a shoe, and I want some coal, the iron to heat, that the blacksmith may shoe my pony's feet. Do you think the miller is going to have any coal? I don't know. I remember a miller has something to do with the bakery tradesperson's job. I don't know. Let's keep reading. The miller came to the door in surprise, and when he heard what was needed, he said, I have wheels that go round and round, and stones to turn till the grain is ground, but I have no coal, the iron to heat, that the blacksmith may shoe your pony's feet. Oh, he is probably feeling so disappointed, huh? Let's keep reading. Let me try to make this bigger for you guys. There you go. Then the man turned away sorrowfully, that means sad, and sat down on a rock near the roadside, sighing and saying, what shall I do? What shall I do? My little gray pony has lost a shoe. I see somebody here. After a while, a very old woman came down the road, driving a flock of geese to the market. And when she came near the man, she stopped to ask him his trouble. He told her all about it, and when she had heard it all, she laughed till the geese joined in with a cackle. And she said, if you would know where the coal is found, you must go to the miner who works in the ground. Ooh, this is a new job, a miner. We haven't read about that yet. Then the man sprang to his feet. Oh, he must be excited. And thanking the old woman, he ran to the miner. Now the miner had been working and looking for coal many a long day down in the mine under the ground, where it was so dark that he had to wear a lamp on the front of his cap to light him at his work. He had plenty of black coal ready, and gave great lumps of it to the man, who took them in haste to the blacksmith. He found the coal. The miner did indeed have the coal. See it right there? He's been underground here mining it with this pick, I think that's called. I think that's called like an axe pick, or I think. We'll have to find out more about that. And he's been hitting it with that and getting out all the coal. So he found it. I bet the little gray pony's owner is very, very happy. Let's read our last picture. Oh, the blacksmith lit his great red fire and hammered out 4 fine new shoes with a cling and a clang. And he fastened, remember that means to attach, them on with a rap and a tap. Then away rode the man on his little gray pony. Clippity, clippity, clap. The end. What a good story. I liked that one. Okay, remember, our goal today was to list all 4 story elements. So who were the characters in the story? Think, 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 think. The main character was this man right here, right? And also the little gray pony. I would say he was a main character. But we also met the blacksmith along the way. We met a miner. We met the old woman there. We met the miller. We met the farmer and the market worker. But I don't think they were main characters. I think the main characters in our story were really just the man and the little gray pony. I think so. Okay, so characters. What was the setting of the story? The setting was the country and a little bit in the town, right? Mostly the country where they were riding around. What was the problem in this story? The problem was that the little gray pony lost his horseshoe, and so he was trying to find another horseshoe, but the blacksmith didn't have coal, so he couldn't make a horseshoe. Then the man had to go and find coal and bring it back to the blacksmith so he could make a horseshoe. That was what the problem was. And I gave away the solution too, huh? What was the solution? The problem was they couldn't find coal because he lost his horseshoe and they couldn't find coal to make a new one. The solution was they had to go find the miner who had coal, and then they brought that coal to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith made not 1 horseshoe, not 2 horseshoes, not 3 horseshoes, but 4 horseshoes. I'm glad they solved that problem, huh? Why do you think the miner made 4 horseshoes when he only lost 1? I don't know. Maybe just in case he lost another one, he would have some extras. That sounds pretty responsible. Or maybe he just wanted them all to be brand new so that the ground was even. It was nice of him to make 4. All right, that's our story for today. So in your journals, write the character, the setting, the problem, and the solution in that story. That was a good one. Tomorrow, I will be back with another fun story, a fictional one called Stone Soup. And this is a classic. It's one of my favorites. Then on Friday, we'll wrap up this unit with a fun writing prompt and a few coloring pages I have for you as well. All right, bye guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.